plus caddy corner from this building. If I try to rush the corner, he doesn't know I'm here yet. Oh man, the stamina bar. I'm I'm an expert stamina manager to begin with. That you have to be at the advanced games and the hard difficulties I play at. But this is going to be just nerve-wracking trying to guess when's the best times to use my stamina when everything can catch me. Wanderspawns is the same. Well, the term Wanderspawn controls two different things. That is the horde movement, those H symbols. Those are basically groups of zombies that have been scooped up because they're outside your reality bubble. And they then have some rules on how they move. Noises is one thing that will draw those H symbols. So depending on noise values and things like that, they also have some random factors built in where they're going to move. But it's a way of simplifying the computing processing requirements. They just can't simulate the entire world outwards an infinite amount. So only within your reality bubble do things actively occur on the normal rule sets. Outside of that, we need Wanderspawns to control these hordes so that we have some kind of changes to the game world so it's not so static, which is the way it used to be called, static and dynamic. But that allows for surprises and change and adjustments. It's got some problems. It's got a few issues. But in my opinion, anybody that knows how to play the game enough that they can live the first week fairly reliably should be playing with Wanderspawns on. So it adds quite a bit of tension and variability to the gameplay. You shouldn't have safety in the zombie apocalypse. If you don't turn it on, you can spend 2 minutes clearing an area and it's clear forever, permanently, amen, without ever seeing another enemy, period. And that just makes the game trivially easy. Not having any danger ever in areas you've already been to is just ridiculously easy. So, if you want to play with it, make your choice. I mean, it's a single-player game. I'm not advocating one way or the other. I just want to educate, make sure people know the consequences, the options, and so on. But the Wanderspawns does two things. They controls the horde movement, and it controls spawning new zombies at the outer edge of the reality bubble, usually in reaction to loud noises. So when that thing is going off constantly, it's causing a point ticker to go along, and it'll start summoning new zombies into the area, just like if you fired off a tank cannon or a big gun or something. That's a way of getting new zombies to be summoned. And it uses a point system. You can deplete the point system over time, so regularly patrolling your home base will basically thin out the zombies, and then from then on, once you've depleted the point pool, it'll only slowly regen, and you just get little trickles of zombies after that. So I think it works well enough. The few small problems it has, it more than offsets in the other useful things that it does, and I think not having it is way more consequential to the gameplay than having it and having to deal occasionally with some wonkiness. All right, so let's figure this out. So like I said, stamina management is going to be the absolute key to this one because everything's faster than me. All of them. They're all faster. So I'm trying to debate with myself, do I want to try to go south, break the corner? There could be zombies, again, waiting right here. I got the number of zombies dialed down because we've got the difficulty of the zombies dialed way the hell up, way farther than what it would seem with the 150% speed number. So once I start getting pursued, if I can't hard break the pursuit with barriers and such, I'm in trouble. I'm in serious trouble. It'll go downhill really, really fast. So back up. I know the path behind me is clear except for that one zombie. Path ahead is a mystery, so I'm taking a gamble, and I gotta very carefully manage my stamina for extreme emergencies, because fighting these guys is an absolute no-go. I'm already in moderate pain and my stats are compromised. Even though I have pretty high ninjutsu skills, I got no strength behind my punches, and no special weapon that's going to work with the skill, so it's effectively useless. And these guys all have 150% hit points as well. So a cop zombie with his clothing and protection bonuses, there's just no way. Fighting is not an option. I think the wiser course is to go north. I hate, I've mentioned it a number of times, I hate moving into an unknown danger. I will almost always choose a known danger over an unknown danger, even if the known portion immediately in front of me is what looks more dangerous than what I don't know. It's what you don't know that kills you usually. So I put more emphasis on the unknown down here when I'm making this kind of a decision. And there could be 2 or 3 guys behind me, and I would still probably prefer to weave my way through them as long as I knew which kind they were than to step around a corner into an unknown area. Because what happens is a bit of a cascade effect. I get to this point, I step across, all of a sudden something else is here I have to react to, I have to continue sprinting, then something else appears in front of me, then something else appears in front of me, and it turns into a non-stop chase that very quickly drains my stamina. So I think that's the worst of the choices. I can't go into the building here because this is a bank, and there's robot security guards in there that'll shoot me dead if they spot me. So we're going north again. I'm going to have to zigzag past this zombie in a tight alleyway. Oh, their movement speed's still freaking me out. See, this guy's got enough action points now. He could step to me and hit me before I can move. So in the past, I would wait. I would wait for him to move. Then I would turn on sprint, and I would run past him, and I'd be too far away before he could hit me. But with 150% action points, I think he's going to have likely enough that if I tap the wait key, he's going to actually step forward and have a good chance to strike me or grab me before I can actually do an action. We're going to do it anyway, but I just think that's going to happen fairly often. Alright, so he didn't get a swing, so now I can do the run mode, and I'll have enough speed I can get 2 spaces away before he can swing. 2, he got the swing in anyway. Damn it. He's so fast. I'm sprinting at full speed and barely getting the lead. Oh, this is going to be so bad. These runs are going to be so short and horrifying. Oh, crap. Brainless, huh? Alright, let's hold him to it. Stay brainless, zombie. Stay brainless. Go block your buddy. This is me walking, and him walking behind me, and he's catching up to me. Oh, this is so bad. I got a small advantage there, because the zombies tend to zag back and forth, so he went diagonal. He lost some points by moving diagonal, plus he moved onto a bush, so I got a tiny bit of advantage there. But I got to get enough of a lead. I got to get something between me and him. More zombies. I'm never going to lose him by just moving. Chain link. I don't think... I want to say you can't climb the gate. You can climb the fence, but I don't think you can climb the gate. Oh, man. Here comes more stamina drain. Come on, vehicle. Okay, that I can climb. Now I need to get enough room to get ahead of them. And now we've got a bite. This is going to be so horrifying. Oh, man, this is going to be such a short run. Up we go. Get our stamina back. Hopefully they're not waiting for me. We're in distracting pain, and we haven't even made it, what, 1 building? 1 building I've made it so far? Yeah, we're only catty corner from the church we started at, and I'm already just about done. Oh, normal gameplay, this trip would be easy. I would just hop, skip, and jump my way down there. It'd be so easy for me under standard default gameplay conditions, but... oh my god, this is going to be so bad. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. This is going to be rough. So, next question. Are they waiting for me at the bottom of the ladder? I don't think they can break these ladders. They can break drape pipes, but I don't think they can break these ladders. Not easily, anyway. But I bet they're waiting for me, and I'm going to get grabbed or crushed as soon as I go down. No? Am I going to make it over the fence, though? It takes an awful lot of points. Got hit again. My favorite one. My favorite one. The zombie bites your eyes. Only thing better than that is zombie bites your eyes. It's a deep wound. Is that what I got on my bike, by the way? No, we got the head bite for the deep wound on that one. But that's my favorite by far. Zombie bites you in the eyes. It's a deep wound. Because you know what's funny about it? Here's what's funny about it. Not having disinfectant which, yeah, you can just see pouring disinfectant into your eye. No, I had to cauterize once. That's awesome. I had to cauterize my eyeball. Oh, good times, good times. You know you're having fun. You're living life to the fullest when you're contemplating cauterizing your eyeball. Nothing better than a good old eyeball cauterization in the morning. I can't. Even at 50% zombies, I can't get away from anything. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I need to... yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do this. The noise is probably going to draw that guy. Yep. That's what I figured would happen. And again, we're not going to be able to go fast enough to actually clear the distance before he gets a move. Because we'll move here, and then we'll move here, but he'll still be close enough, and he's going to hit me before I can get away. That's another super important problem. 1, 2, and he got a grab in. We got grabbed, and we're in compromised physical condition. We failed to break the grab. We broke it that time. Now I've got to, again, figure out how to lose a zombie. Because he'll never stop chasing me. I wasn't sure what to set the zombie spawn rate at, so I got it at 50. We might have to drop it a little further to have a realistic chance of doing this, but we'll see. I don't mind dying. I have fun when I die. I'm trying to find a new sweet spot. I'm trying to find a sweet spot where my knowledge of the movement system advantages are somewhat nullified. So I'm trying to find a point where stealth and these other traits like weak scent, light step actually have serious consequence. So far, I don't know. At the density level of the zombies, I can't avoid things very well. It'd almost be better for me to be out in the open so I could at least use my 5 night vision range. But when I encounter things in these alleyways I'm stuck in between these buildings, I got no way to get around them. But if I'm out in the open, conversely, I have no cover. So, at least this building, I've got a home improvement store right here. I can go through the window into that building at least. But my chances of getting in the back door of the gun store quietly, if it has one, are kaput. So I gotta do this. Oh, he's gonna hit me when I go through the window. Oh, just managed. Now I need to break contact with him somehow before I run out of stamina. So I'm gonna start walking again, let him gain some on me. Maybe he'll get distracted by a sound further north. Oh, crap. Alright, looks like... So they're breaking in from the north and from the southwest. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Scent trail. Here you go. Scent trail. For anybody that has never seen of it, doesn't know what I'm talking about. Zombies have 3 primary senses they use to track you. Sight, of course. That's the most important and the strongest. That's what puts the strongest impetus on the zombie to come after you, is if they can see you, they will invariably come your direction. Unless they've got something closer that is considered an enemy. Second is sound. Sound is the next most important. If they can hear you, they're going to move towards the noise. And then third is scent. Your smell. So this is a scent map. This shows the strength of my scent further and further back. So the numbers change. If I sat here and waited, you'll see these numbers decrease. All the numbers will decrease except for the ones immediately around me. And eventually it'll fade out. It'll just be a circular cloud directly around my position. But this is how it works. So the zombies detect your scent and they follow the big numbers. So if he was here, he would jump to here, then to here, and so on, because the numbers get bigger. So that's how the scent system works. If you have strong scent, your numbers are bigger. The numbers accumulate faster, the scent lasts longer effectively, so it's easier for the zombies to catch your scent. If they happen to wander into your path, they'll be trailing along behind you, following these numbers. So that is the scent map. You can hotkey it if you want to see it yourself. Just go to your key bindings menu, and it is right here. View scent map. I've got it set to my F10 key. I'm trying to educate on the scent stuff right now, so I'll be showing this off a few times during the run. But that is how the scent map works. So I'll turn that off for now. So I went with light scent to try to minimize that as much as I could. I don't see much in this place that's giving me an advantage. I need to get my stamina back, though. Oh my god, there's my nightmare. There's my nightmare. Trying to add wind speed and direction effects to it as well. That makes sense. Although, how you're going to do that with indoors, outdoors, conditions, and all that kind of stuff, that'd be a bit of a nightmare. I wish you luck. I hope someday I'm saying, well, the wind's going 3 miles per hour from the northwest, but we've got this building causing a break in the slant of the trajectory, and here's how you min-max your scent cloud under certain wind conditions with certain terrain in the area to the windward side. So we'll see. Future problems. I'm going to worry about current problems. There is my current problem. My true nightmare in the early game of this setup. Feral runners. Oh my goodness gracious. That is the thing I fear the most right now. He hasn't detected me yet, but he's gonna. I think he might have just there. And he can shred doors, so I got to get to some cover before he shreds that door, because he's going to follow my scent trail. And now I have to cross a street. I can't get into the gun store, most likely. Especially with something like him following me. It's going to depend on how quickly he gets through this door. I would love to at least get to the pharmacy. Oh my god. And I'm blowing my stamina. I'm blowing my stamina. He has no stamina. I need a vehicle. That'll work. That'll do. That'll do. Awesome. Alright. Another quick tip for new players. Use vehicles as resting stops. Now, be careful how you do it and when you do this, and realize it can go horribly, horribly wrong. But if you're about to die anyway, which if I keep losing stamina, I will be dying, look for a vehicle like this that is sealed. None of the things are broken. Zombies are much less prone to actually hit vehicles nowadays. They had their code changed. They used to, if they would even come near a vehicle, they would just go berserk and just shred the vehicle somehow. I don't know how a human body, even under blob control, is shredding drivetrains and engine blocks, but they would shred vehicles in pretty short order. Nowadays, though, they're a lot more hesitant. So you can hop into a vehicle like this and regain your stamina. They will come to the vehicle, and if they do hit it, they'll attract a crowd, so you might end up in worse condition. But at least you've got 3 different directions you can get out of the vehicle in. So we're going to try this. I'm going to move to the far corner position, because my pursuers are probably coming from this way, and they'll start banging up here. Then I'm gonna do the wait command. So here's the big problem with stamina nowadays. The thing that all the new players need to know. Really, really easy to burn stamina. Really, really hard to get it back again. You can burn stamina in a matter of seconds. You'll burn your entire bar, and every action will cost an obscene amount of action points. And the effect is you will slow down, slow down, slow down. But it takes like 10 minutes to regain from 0 to full all your stamina bar. So it's impossible to regain stamina in any kind of active situation. You can't regain stamina while running. You can't regain stamina while fighting. None of that stuff. Depending on the balance of your stats and some other factors, you can walk and gain stamina. If you're not overweight and a few other things, it might be an issue. But pretty much nothing else will do it. So it takes a long time to regain stamina. So right now, I'm only down 2 bars. You can hear me breathing heavily. It's already affecting my movement speed. And watch how long it takes me to get these 2 bars back. We're at 22:45 currently. So 22:47, almost 48. So almost 3 minutes. 3 minutes is 180 rounds. That's 180 turns for the zombies. So it's massive. It's just a huge amount of time. You cannot just regain stamina if you have any kind of danger actively pursuing you or engaging you. So just be aware of that problem, and you have to take that into consideration when you're trying to plan out your movements and trying to stay alive, depending on your circumstances. And if any of you players are new that you're watching, don't play the game settings I'm using. These are not for the faint of heart. This is Vorm's being stupid and is going to die a lot mode, so. And if I don't, I'll be really surprised. Alright, so we got distracting pain. We have a bite in addition to our leg wound. We have no option to fix that. We've got to now get to the pharmacy for multiple reasons. We need painkillers, we need antibiotics, and we need disinfectant. I can't even cauterize my head wound because I don't have any fire-making capability or a blade to cauterize with. We're in a car here. It's possible the car works. Let's check. Has no wheels. Car does not work. So whenever you check a car to see if it works, you can actually do it remotely for almost everything. You can just about tell if any car will run by examining it remotely, with a couple exceptions. You cannot tell if the engine is faulty, which this one is. There are different reasons for the faults. Different parts can be a problem. Some of them will prevent the car from working. Some of them won't. If it's just a faulty... what are the different ones? Emissions, the muffler, for example, that kind of thing, then it'll make the vehicle louder, but it won't actually prevent it from working. But other problems the engine might have could prevent it from working entirely. So you can't tell that remotely. You also can't tell it in the dark. I can't tell right now what this fault is in the dark. The other thing you can't tell is the battery charge. You can tell if there's a battery, but you can't tell if it's actually got a charge. Those are the only two things that you cannot check remotely. Now, the one exception to this is electric cars. Electric cars I love because you can check 100%. You can have pretty much, I'll say 99.9% certainty if an electric car will work from range. Because the electric engines don't use the fault system. You'll never have a faulty electric engine or motor, so on. And as long as it has a battery and it has functional solar panels, it'll almost always have battery charge. So if you check remotely and you see a broken security system on an electrical vehicle, but it's got all the other parts like wheels and a steering wheel and seat and so on, you can generally drive that. And you can check it from 50 spaces away. So, another tip. But for any other vehicle, to be absolutely sure, you've got to get close enough to verify if it has a faulty engine and has battery charge. You can check everything else, so you can do 75% of the checks and rule it out if it doesn't have any of the other things. But once you've checked all those things, to be absolutely sure, you got to actually get up and touch it. All right, let's keep moving. So, yeah, so we're in trouble. I can't tell. Let's Dapper Zombie to my north. Hey, what's in the driver's seat? Granola? Well, I need some granola. I'm hungry. We'll have some granola. All right, we had some granola. What's left now? Plastic bag? Plastic bag. The final solution. Okay, so I'm going to leave the car here, and I'm going to actually mark it. That way I remember where I have a possible escape position that I might be able to sprint towards. What is this next to me? This is an orchard. Not much in an orchard I care about. We're moving towards a restaurant. They have multiple entrances and exits, lots of windows usually. Sometimes a back door, so if I go in the front and I'm chased, I might be able to go out a back door. And then we got the pharmacy. And there's different versions of pharmacy. What I absolutely need to do, though, is I need to get to either a front or back door without any pursuit. That way I have time to pick the lock to get in. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Depends on the pharmacy. So we'll see which one we got when we get over there. Alright. Thank God my perception's not affected by all this pain. Everything else is. But I still got perception 11, so we still got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I mentioned at the top of the episode, somebody asked about why don't I take another point of perception to get an extra night vision, because it doesn't quite work that way anymore. 11 gets us back to where we used to be, back in the good old days where it was just perception divided by 3 would give you 3 night vision. But, yeah, now you have to push it to 11 to get that third night vision. And then I've got night vision on top of that, the trait, which gives me 2 more. So 1, 2, 3 for perception, and then 2 more for night vision. Am I hyped for the future new inventory system made by Co.Ag? I haven't used it yet. I cannot comment. I cannot comment. I am not hyped for it, though. I'm cautiously optimistic is the words I shall use. My fear is that for all the people that wish it was in-game, they're going to find after it's in that they wish it was no longer in-game. That's my fear. The reasoning for that is anything that makes me push more buttons is a bad thing. If I have to push more buttons, I better be gaining gameplay value. And nested containers, I'm not convinced that the advantages it brings is going to be worth the disadvantages it incurs. That's my worry. And the main reasoning I have for that is, can anybody anywhere name a game, any game, that has more stuff? Is there any game out there that has more stuff in it now than Cataclysm DDA does? Where you have these pack rat afflicted individuals that insist on creating 30 square long, 9 square wide super vehicles that have 50 cargo spaces all full of stuff. Does I'm not convinced Dwarf Fortress has more stuff. Now, more units of a thing, sure, 1,000,000 iron and 1,000,000 of this stone and 1,000,000 of that stone, but for sheer variety of stuff is what I'm talking about. There is no way Space Station 13 has more stuff than Cataclysm DDA. No way. My point, though, is in Cataclysm, people tend to accumulate a ridiculous amount of individual things that they're hoarding for whatever reason. My fear is that we're going to devolve into a problem in that unless I can see remotely that the dollar bill I want is inside the wallet, that is inside the purse, that is inside the backpack, that is inside the duffel bag, that is inside the travel bag, that is next to the other 18 travel bags on the north side of my storage area, I'm gonna go berserk, because what use is it to me playing the game if I have to physically go and look inside each container to see them all? And I don't know if the nesting system is going to do that, allow that, or how it's all going to work. I'm just worried that the gameplay value it adds is going to be offset by the grunt work and key presses required to make it useful. So, I don't know yet. I know it's available to try. I'm not interested in trying it quite yet. I'll let other people guinea pig it, and I'll wait a bit. So, don't worry. Korg's keeping me involved. He and I have chatted about it a number of times over the ages of my Cataclysm play. So, Korg drops by regularly. Nah, there's no chance I'll play Space Station 13 with you. Sorry. All right, let's start playing this game again. That's enough of a divergence for me for now. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. I hope it brings value to the game. I just fear that it won't. But if it doesn't, I'll ignore it and I'll just do my thing. So you don't worry. I'll use it. All right, let's keep moving. So we have a retreat point, possibly. I gotta really slow down my movement. I'm used to just being able to dance all over the place and speed around cities pretty much at will. This game setting is just making me all kinds of nervous. Oh, chipmunk! It's a dirty chipmunk! And a squirrel! And another squirrel! You're freaking me out, chipmunks and squirrels. Oh my god, it's a herd of squirrels. What do you call what is a bunch of squirrels called? Anybody know the term? It's probably not herd. It's probably not pack. It's probably something fuzzy and cute for a bunch of squirrels. So, restaurant. I was gonna work my way through the restaurant, possibly. It's empty. Doors and windows are intact, which is a good sign. Do we have... Ooh, a pot. Do I take the pot? Chicken soup. Oh, well. Wait. Why am I seeing... Oh, a pot of chicken soup and a pot of vegetable soup. Alright. Nah, let's ignore that for now. I need my hands with my stick, and I need any volume free for meds and stuff. Ah, there's a zombie in the back room. But we do have a back door. Oh, crap. So we're so close. That right there is the pharmacy. Caddy corner. Right. And this goes to here. So yeah, it's right here is the corner of the pharmacy. Of course, we got a zombie back here. I got to avoid any contact with the zombies until I can get inside and get my stuff. I'm going to leave the door open. I don't want to close it because the noise of closing it might... Oh, crap. Coming this way anyway. Head back out just in case. Back out to Squirrel and Chipmunk Land. They can at least provide some distraction. Maybe we can go the other way and get to the front of the pharmacy quietly. Yeah, I am just totally not used to having to move this slow. Another restaurant. Let's at least get it mapped so I know my routes. And I tossed my cookies onto the chair. Alright, tough zombie. These doors I don't think make much noise. Ooh, down 6 for a sliding glass door. Uh-oh, somebody's in the kitchen. From the north I hear an alarm go off, huh? Another tough zombie over by the takeout window. Alright, that's not going to work either. I want to locate another vehicle. I need another vehicle nearby. Nope. There may not be any nearby. That's back the way I came. There's not one there. Alright, we're out in the middle of the road. I just need to go south and then cut back to the east. Solar vehicle! So like I was saying, remotely viewing a solar vehicle. I can't see the front of it yet, but as an example to demonstrate what I was talking about. So if it was daylight and I could see this thing from 50 spaces away, first thing I check is tires. That's pretty much the thing that's almost always going to be the first thing wrong. You got tires, he's got tires. So we've got tires in all 4. Well, sometimes it's 3 out of 4, but it's drivable. So it's got tires. Next thing, doesn't have all the things in the driver's seat. You gotta have a seat, you gotta have a control station. Oh, even better, we got a broken security system. We might have a working vehicle here. That's what I talked about. Electric cars with broken security systems. They're the trifecta. So, it's got everything. We got controls, we got a seat. Those are pretty much the 2 things you gotta have. You gotta have a place to sit, and you gotta have a control system. Next, we check for the engine. Does it have an engine, and does it have batteries and the solar panels? So, that one's a green solar panel. That one's busted. That one's busted. That one's also green. So it's got 2 completely brand new solar panels. That's enough. The battery is broken and draining, though. And the same thing there. Broken and draining. So probably this has no electrical energy, unfortunately. We were close. We were so close. And then the large electric motor. Right there. Can't have faults with the electric motors, so you don't have to worry about that problem. But yeah, it's not going to have any energy. Or not much if it does. Examine. Yep. No mention of energy. They're busted. So, almost. We almost had it. Let's see. Can we use it as an escape? Can you step into... Nope, you can't step into that. So let's close it up. But I can still use it as a temporary escape spot. So we're going to remember the position. Ah, crap! Damn it. Damn it. I was so hoping to get to the pharmacy without getting attention. Might be able to play merry-go-round with... Oh, he's so fast. He's so fast. Think maybe that'll do. We'll see if he comes around the corner at me. If he does, I might have to reverse course. I already burned 1 bar of stamina. Oh, another vehicle. Security van. Security van with a gun. That's just what I need. Give me a storm with a full clip. Storm with a full clip, please. Or give me a working security van. Oh my god. We have diesel, we have battery, we have a broken security system, we have wheels, we have an undamaged, well, damaged but not faulty engine. And it's got a gun in the front? Huh. Well, there you go. We has a vehicle. It's going to be tough to start. It's going to fail to start once in a while, but it's got plenty of charge for us to try it a few times. Yeah, this is my backup favorite vehicle. Security van and SWAT truck. My primary being, of course, the Humvee, my beloved Humvee. But, yeah, working security van. So it's got everything we need. If you're checking these things, you need wheels, of course. That's the first thing you always look at. Anytime I open these screens or I'm viewing remotely, I always check wheels. That's the most common problem. If it's got wheels, then I glance up and make sure it's got gas, battery, and whether or not the engine has any faults. It's got all those. Got a broken security system, so we don't have to worry about hot wiring it or anything crazy. Got the controls in the seat. We're home. We're golden. We got everything we need. We could hop in the driver's seat and drive it away right now. Like I said, plus that little indicator there, it's very, very common for the security vans to have a gun in the front. Shotgun, pistol, usually. Sometimes a CX... is it the CX-4 that'll show up here? Or am I thinking the SWAT truck? Let's see what we got. An AR-15 with 2 rounds. Well, that's not ideal, but at least it fires 223 ammo, which is pretty easy to come by, relatively speaking. No mods on it, so I don't have a strap. I can throw it over the shoulder. I'd have to actually carry the damn thing. We're going to leave it here for now. I need my available volume to scoop up all the first aid kits and drugs I'm hoping to get at the pharmacy. And a gun's not going to save me, not with 2 rounds in it especially. In these world conditions, the gun is even more dangerous than it used to be. I typically shy away from guns. All the longtime viewers know I really could care less about guns most of the time. I don't often play with the guns. I've been playing with them more the last few months because of the overwhelming ease with which to gather up 223 ammo. But I can take guns or leave them. I actually prefer playing without them, but they're pretty dangerous in normal circumstances just due to the noise they make. And in this circumstance where all the zombies have 150% hit points, meaning I'd have to fire more bullets into them to drop them, and they close the distance a hell of a lot faster because the additional action points that they're getting. Unless it was a very controlled location that I was fighting in, like a lab, I'd have a really hard time firing a gun in the open world like this right now. Does ramming zombies with vehicles work well? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The vehicle physics system is pretty wonky. There are some... I mean, it's awesome that it's in the game, don't get me wrong, but there are some pretty weird things with it. As long as you're moving fast enough, a solar car can wreck a skeletal juggernaut. So get that solar car going up to about 40 or higher. You can get that speed, you'll wreck a solar juggernaut. And you'll only do a little bit of minor damage to the vehicle. So it's kind of weird in some of the ways that it works. There are some really overpowered things you can do with the vehicles. There are some really crazy, stupid things that happen with vehicles. Like a single shrub will stop a main battle tank from moving. So there's some wonkiness. But, oh yeah, ramming stuff works fine. Yeah, you could lose the engine. It's variable. There are different things that could happen. But I've tested it. I've jumped in solar cars. Because somebody was insisting that you had to have all this armor plating and a heavy vehicle and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, that's not what I remember. So I just jumped into a test world. Summoned up just a regular electric car and a skeletal juggernaut. Rammed him at about 40. And it did like half a bar of damage to the front frame in the position that I hit him in. And that was it. That was the entire damage that the car took. So, other times you'll hit something and your whole car will shatter and disintegrate. So, My very first quick tip, or my very first quick slip, is all about that. If you want to encounter the horrors of vehicle use, go look up main battle tank versus scooter on my YouTube channel. Very short video, very entertaining. All right, so yeah, we have a van that is perfect though. Let's close it up. Oh crap, somebody's making noise. Close it up anyway. Damn you, zombie, you're in my way. I'm so close. I'm so close. It's the next building down. But I have to get to the front door without anything knowing I'm here, because I have to have time to pick the lock. Unless it's the version that has wooden doors and they're already open or smashed or something. Another thing I would traditionally do that you see me do pretty often when I'm doing these city runs is I would flip on a flashlight, or I would yell or make noise and then move away. But I can't do that now. That's another tool that's out of my arsenal, because if I do that, they're all faster than me. I can't just casually move away and maintain my stamina. I might have to resort to noisemakers or setting fires or something. You know, actual tactical stuff. Hey, let's do this. Oh, yeah. Whoa! Nope, let's stop doing that. We're crouching while being chased. Damn it! Damn you, scent cloud! Why did I even turn on light scent if I'm still going to detect it constantly? We have not yet determined which are the noteworthy zombies. We're first going to find out if I can even survive the first few hours. We'll worry about noteworthy zombies if I'm still alive after we've conquered the infection. Before that, it's all an irrelevant conversation. So I'm not convinced this is survivable. So we're going to first see if I can actually stay alive a couple of days, trying to run around a city with zombies like this that can instantly catch me. Oh, crap. What do I do now? Hardware store, storefront. So many of my tricks, my go-to moves are nullified by the speed that these guys are. You want pics of the swimmers? We might be able to add that in. Just keep your thoughts, keep your thoughts. Don't bother telling me now, because I won't remember, but that's a fairly amusing one. How am I going to lose this zombie without risking the vehicle? I don't want to start a fight near the vehicle that they'll shred it while I'm trying to do stuff. Would try to go back up north to the other vehicle, but then I'd add the tough zombie to the equation. Thinking I might have to try to go to the hardware store and see if I can lose him in the hardware store. But I've absolutely got to get to the front door of the... Oh god, they move so fast. And I'm so impacted with my stamina right now. Yep. I can't even get across the street. Look at this, I'm sprinting and I can't get a lead on him. It's so bad. Oh, that is so bad. Close that door. Give me at least a round or two. This model does have the back area with the gate, right? I think it does. So I've also got the item spawn dialed way down. So there's a lot less stuff for me to go scoop up. So I'm going to have to do a lot of traveling to find stuff. Oh, I need to grab a rubber hose. I almost forgot. Give me that. Sort by category. Alright, so we have a rubber hose. That allows me to siphon gas at need. Not going to worry about pipes or things. Alright, back door. So, that is what I have to do. Let's find a quiet spot here. I got a drain pipe here. So I'm going to stay right here. We're going to get our stamina back. Alright. Please, no zombies in the alleyway. No zombies in the alleyway. Let's go back to crouching. 214 points. But supposedly I'm quieter. It's the damn scent cloud. Is it billowing out in front of me? Look at that. So, it doesn't help me. Excuse me? Excuse me? Wait a minute. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with this picture right here. Roadworks, you think? In the middle of the town? I guess? Is that a roadworks barricade? Not a turret barricade? But yeah, I was about to say, it doesn't help me to make only one sound moving if my scent cloud is billowing out 3 and 4 spaces ahead of me. So at a certain point, keeping your sound down is somewhat irrelevant. Big deal if I only make one sound. If my scent cloud... Now, I've got light scent, so this isn't too bad. But if I stand here, watch the scent cloud numbers. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So what was that? 4 spaces out in front of me. So keeping my noise down isn't really helping me if I'm only making 2 or 3 noise anyway. So yeah, 2 sound. So, I'm not going to bother trying to crouch. Crouching for line of sight, maybe, but crouching for the sound benefit, I don't think is as valuable as some people are expecting or try to claim. Just because they're not understanding the scent cloud mechanics. Alright, well, they can't shoot me in the dark unless I get within a certain range. And I, theoretically, have more range than they do, so... What the hell? What am I looking at here? I guess this is a spot where they're doing work. It's got a security system. It's got all the stuff, but it's got the security system. Now, don't assume that because it has a security system, you can't drive this car. It's possible they left the keys in it. So if you're desperate for a vehicle and you see a security system, don't just walk away. Get in the driver's seat and try to start it up. It'll tell you if it's going to require you to try to hotwire it or not. But there are occasions where they left the keys in the car, and you can go ahead and get it started up anyway. So don't take this as a no-go on being able to drive. That thing is probably going to scent me any second. This is the front door for the abandoned. So yeah, it is just a roadworks. Apparently there's potholes right here. Is that what this is? Road, pavement. No, there's dirt on the ground here. Oh my goodness. Am I saved? There's a kid on the bike, but am I saved? It's a working bicycle. It's a working bicycle. Alright, have to remember that bike's there. That could save me right there. That would go a long ways towards helping me with my movement issues. Damn you, stupid fat zombie. Oh crap, I can't climb over these barriers. Now I got the... Set trap caught on top of train open air, which already has a built-in trap, huh? Alright, whatever. Oh, nah, this is not what I needed. I got a zombie to the north, I got a child zombie coming at me from my scent trail, and I got a zombie to the south. Oh, the bicycle. The bicycle. Now, the bicycle, in normal circumstances I've demonstrated recently, is pretty easy to use and abuse, and I'm able to traverse entire cities very easily in normal settings. In this one, though, I would have to get the speed up high enough that I think I would be draining my stamina just to stay ahead of some of the zombies. So I don't know the balance point on the bicycle, speed versus stamina, and the faster you go, the harder it is to turn or maneuver on the bikes. So while it's probably going to help, it's not going to be as helpful as normal. But I can't go through these barriers. I either have to break it or I have to go around it. I thought I'd be able to move over it and just pay a little more movement cost, but nope. Is there any clothing that can reduce scent cloud? I'm not aware of any. I've never thought that question through or tried to test it, though. There are things that will mask your scent, which cigarettes and cigars will mask your scent, your natural odor. So there are ways to mask your scent, but not through clothing, I don't think. I could be wrong on that. It's not something I've played a lot with. What was the point of a security system that was fully green, allowing you to drive the vehicle? I think in those circumstances you got lucky and it had a green security system and they left the keys in the car. So maybe several times in a row you got lucky and then you assumed that was always the case, but The entire time I've been playing the game, a green security system is any security system other than one that was completely broken will keep you locked out unless you get lucky with the keys. So it depends on how long ago you're talking. I can only give you my experience going back about 2.5 years. All I want to do is... We've now circled, what, 3/4 of the way around this building, and I have not yet been able to get to the front door without having something chasing. Are these pits in the road? Oh, these are pits in the road. Shallow pits, so yeah, that's cool. So this is a working roadblock. There's maintenance fixing the roadway. Well, what am I going to do about this situation here? I could try to dance around the kid and use the car as a blocker. Might or might not get the attention of that guy. And if I at least do that, I have the options to go for the drain pipe or back into the hardware store. So I think it's let the child come towards me, then do a little end run sprint. Try to get the kid arranged so that it can possibly still detect me but get hung up on the edge of the car. So let's go to here. Oh my god, they move so fast I can't get used to it. Alright, run mode. Damn it. Every little hit hurts so extra bad. Alright. Did it lose track of me? I think it might have lost track of me already. I'm gonna try to start following a scent trail, but with my proximity to the car, it's gonna get a little bit messed up and hung up. Alright, is that fat zombie still in the area? There he is. Please let me get to the vehicle, or let me get to the front of this thing. There's a crawling zombie. Oh! Alright, so they already broke the windows and got inside. We're in! I see a first aid kit. Now if I can get some disinfectant from either the bottle or the first aid kit, we can get the head bite taken care of. But what else is in here? Candles! Oh, I like candles. Alright, what do we got? We've got protein powder, multivitamin, sewing kits. I'm going to hold off on the sewing kit and stuff for the moment. Do need the first aid kit. We'll take fungicide. Activate the first aid kit. We need to get this head wound taken care of right now. So we're going to activate the first aid kit, and we're going to grab the stuff on the floor. Painkillers, bandages, gauze, and antiseptic. The others, I don't care so much about. Activate. Antiseptic. So, let's talk a bit about this. We got quite a few people watching. I think there are some new players watching. So here's the situation. The character started with this leg infection. So it uses a color coding system for the body parts to indicate problems that are occurring. There's multiple colors possible. The common ones being the first stage is a bite, a deep bite wound, which is what the head being blue is indicated. The way to avoid getting bites like this is to not get grabbed by zombies. As soon as they successfully grab you, try to move directly away from them or in some direction away from them to break the grab. They can only inflict a bite wound, this blue status bite wound, if you are grabbed when they hit you. In that circumstances, when a bite wound can occur. It's not guaranteed, but as long as you're constantly vigilant about breaking grabs as soon as they occur, you should not very often have to deal with these bite wounds. But let's say you couldn't help it, you got grabbed, you also got bit, and they inflicted a bite wound, then you need to deal with it. You can do so a couple of ways. One, your immune system might naturally fight off the infection. You want to avoid waiting for that occurrence. It's not going to happen very often. So the two main ways to deal with it are to disinfect it. Lots of ways to do it. I'm not going to go into all of them in this. I'm not giving a full first aid tutorial. But using antiseptic is the best way. Just activate the antiseptic or eat the antiseptic and then pick that body part. And it has a 95% success rate. So if it doesn't work, just do it again. You just failed the 5% failure rate. But there are other ways to do it. The other main method is if you don't have any access to antiseptics or any of the other options, cauterization. Have a blade of some kind, have a fire source like matches or a lighter, things like that. And you can use the action menu or you can activate the knife and you can cauterize. It's a 50-50 chance, so you want to use it as a last resort. And if you succeed, it goes away. You get a little bit of extra pain, but it's gone, and you don't have to deal with it. If you fail, it advances a timer that's used before it converts into a full infection. There are occasions, if you get to it right away, where you'll get 2 chances to actually cauterize. So if you fail once, you might get a second chance. But you're pretty much guaranteed, if you fail twice in a row at 50-50, that it's going to convert to a full infection right immediately. So the infection, no way to fix that other than the most common way, antibiotics, and the super rare way, royal jelly. That's pretty much your choices. But the other type of thing you might see is if it turns red, it indicates you're bleeding. You have an active bleeding wound, and you need to stop the bleeding. It will stop on its own, but it'll constantly drain the hit point bar while it's bleeding. So you want to take care of that right away. You can use bandages, medical gauze. Those are the best things. But if you're in a pinch, chop up some clothing for rags, just base rags. You can chop up pretty much anything made of cloth, sheets, blankets, clothing, anything. Just get a rag and apply a rag. And it's, I think, a 50% chance to stop bleeding with a rag. So you might have to try a few times, but you can staunch the bleeding with just any old rag. If you use a bandage, you have a much higher chance. And you can check these things in the game right here. Notice it says bleeding, chance to heal percent, 90%. So if you use a bandage, 90% chance you'll stop the bleeding. Just keep trying until you succeed. If you use a rag, it'll say like 50% or something like that. So, same thing with antibiotics. If I look at antibiotic, or antiseptic, I mean, it says... Actually, it doesn't. Why doesn't it say here? That's weird. It doesn't say, but it's 95%. Right now, if I go to use the antibiotics, or the antiseptic, it tells you on this screen. Chance to clean and disinfect, 95%. So we're going to go ahead and use that, and it succeeded. So the color went away. So we no longer have a bite wound to worry about. That's not going to convert into a full-blown infection. This, though, I have to find antibiotics for. And it's not an instant cure. You have to take the antibiotics. They last 12 hours. Keep taking them so you're constantly under the antibiotic effect, and hope that it goes away. All right, let's keep moving. Don't care about any of that. We're trying to get to the back room where the good stuff is being held. I'm going to ignore pretty much everything else until we get there. With the sole exception... the front... Oh, nope. Alright, nothing good up here. So, we need to go in here. We've managed to get in here quietly, so now we have a door here. Here's the problem point. This door's locked. If I try to pick it and fail, which I'm going to, it's going to take a bunch of tries to pick this thing, the alarm's going to go off. And it'll make a bunch of noise, and we might have a bunch of visitors. The good news is, I've got multiple ways out, as long as I get back to this room. This is the back door exit. We got this door we can go back out, so we go out windows, we can go up this way and go out this window. So we got exit options, but I got to get through this door as quick as possible. So, with compromised strength and a stick, I might be able to bash this door down in 2 or 3 swings, as opposed to trying to pick the lock 50 times and getting in that way. There is no disinfectant in the game any longer. It got renamed to antiseptic. So if you hear me occasionally say disinfectant, that's because for years it was called disinfectant. And like 4 months ago, 6 months ago, they just changed the name. It's the exact same item. They just changed the name from disinfectant to antiseptic. Now, there are reasons to put antiseptic on your wounds regardless of your bite status. Go watch my healing videos for that. But bandaging and applying antiseptic each apply a separate healing bonus to your healing factor for the limb. So if you're hammered and you want to get back up to full strength, apply a bandage to the limb and apply antiseptic to the limb. You get 2 separate bonuses that each one applies. So don't do just one or the other, do them both. Within reason. I mean, you want to make sure you maintain a supply of antiseptic, for example, for emergency bites. But if you got a lot of it sitting around, just slather it on. Just dose yourself up with bandages and antiseptic. And keep them fresh as you heal the limb up. And I have videos on that stuff too, of course. There is no difference between antiseptic and disinfectant. Anybody saying they're both in game is totally wrong.